silent meditation for our meditation a day. Now, the way that the silent meditations work, Terry and I go behind scenes and we meditate together. We invite you to listen to the music and meditate along with us. After about 25 minutes, Terry and I will come back on and share with you what we experienced. It's always been fascinating, the things that Spirit shows us in these Sunday morning meditations. So please make yourselves comfortable and just join in meditation, and we'll see you in about 25 minutes. Okay, Teri, can you hear me? There we
And
go.
now,
Okay,
in the morning, technical problems.
now I can hear you. That was really so fascinating. I always love that we get to learn something or get to experience something. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. The first thing that I saw was that we were in the ethereal realm and that Teri was being acknowledged for the work that she does. She just taught a class yesterday on time heals, which I highly recommend anybody take if you're interested at all in working with archangels and ascended masters. Fascinating class, highly recommend it. So Teri was being acknowledged for the work that she does and for her spiritual journey that she's on. And then I saw that our Deb Goldberg was being acknowledged. But what was interesting was they were each walking over this path that a loose rendition of a rainbow because the colors were different for each one of them. And then and Deb was being acknowledged for her spiritual journey. And then I was being acknowledged for mine. And then we saw we were in amazing company of all of these souls that were being acknowledged for the spiritual journeys that they had been on throughout their life. And so, Teri, talk about rainbows for just a minute, if you would.
Okay, so I've always been fascinated by rainbows, and I always like look up when it's rained and then there's sun, but I didn't know what the spiritual significance of rainbows are until I looked it up. There's 7 different colors, individual colors, and uh, they are showing the diversity. So each one is different. And it's a message to us to acknowledge and accept the diversity in each of us and also in different cultures, different beliefs. Just go into that acceptance and everything works together beautifully, doesn't it? When you look at a rainbow, they're not fighting with each other. There's not one that's trying to take over from the others. They're all just in harmony together and showing us that beauty. And that's how it can be in our world. If we can just accept each other, we'll be that rainbow. We'll be working in harmony. And I made the statement that's what I feel is peace on earth, when we can really acknowledge each other and accept and not fight against or discriminate or criticize or judge each other for what we are and what we feel and what we believe. So I love rainbows myself, and I think they're really a powerful message to us. Many people see them as a message of there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a promise. That's what a lot of people hold when they see that rainbow is hope and promise of better things. And I think it can be that if we can just really work together with all of our diversity.
And I was shown that while you're on your spiritual journey, it looks like one stepping stone in front of the other.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep moving along, plodding along. And it takes somebody from the outside looking at it to realize the outstanding beauty that comes together from this spiritual journey that in our cases looked like rainbows of different colors. It was really kind of cool. Teri's colors were teal, pink, and purple, while Deb's were greens and yellows. So it was sort of an interesting play on the rainbow thought there. And then we all went into this joyous celebration and huge, huge, expansive space in the ethereal realm and dancing and celebrating. And we saw that souls that had been acknowledged for their spiritual journey spanned so many different centuries. We were able to see, when they were in body based on how they were dressed. It was really fascinating. And then someone got up and was doing a presentation, and that one who was doing the presenting was Moses. And so Teri and I did a little walk into biblical history of Moses and why Moses perhaps was chosen to be the one doing the acknowledging and sharing appreciation, acknowledgement for those individual journeys that folks had been on spiritually. So, Teri, do you want to just share for a minute some of the things? And if you are a biblical scholar, please forgive us. This was very quick and trying to remember those things that we had learned while in church. So, forgive us.
Yeah, it's been a long time, yeah. But I know that Moses was strong in his faith, and so when he heard the call to lead the people out of slavery where they were in Egypt, he did just that. He led the Israelites, and they wandered in the desert for what is said 40 years. We don't know if that's a literal 40 years or if that's just the span of time that he was there with them. But we were talking about what it must have been like to be that leader and have all these people that you're responsible for. You've taken them away from where they had food, they had shelter, they had water, and now they're out wandering in the desert and, probably not very happy with him or with their circumstance, but staying strong in his belief. He led them through the desert. There was a Red Sea that was parted for them, that Moses just spoke and it parted. And he was also the one that brought down the 10 Commandments from the mountaintop. So listening is so important. And then being in that leadership role, recognizing that everything that you do, everything you say has an impact. And, he's listening to God directly. He's hearing these commands of what to do, and he just did it. So I think it's so symbolic that he did show up in this celebration, because it's a message to all of us to really pay attention. Pay attention when you're hearing that nudge to do something, when you're getting that message to go on that journey, to take that trip, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be a physical trip. It could be that trip down your path of learning or your path of experiencing something in some way, but just to really pay attention. And if you're called to be a leader, then staying strong in that and not saying, oh, well, let's go back, let's turn around because I must have heard it wrong, but staying strong in your belief. And that's what I see with Moses. He was just steadfast. He was sure. He was confident in what he was being told was what was supposed to happen. And it did result in the Israelites coming to a different place and being in a place where they could live and live out of slavery. But Ruth, we were talking about sometimes when we're in a situation that may not be ideal, that we're not real happy about, and we leave that, we might not have exactly what we expect when we get out of that situation. There may be some doubts that come up, like, oh, wow, could I have endured that for a little longer? Could I have stayed there just to have food and shelter and, all of this? Or did I hear it right, that I was supposed to leave and get out of that situation? So I'm sure that's something that happens. And I think this is another thing we can look at, is really listen to your gut, your intuition, and then just stay strong, stay steadfast. If you're hearing those words, just keep going forward instead of turning and looking at the past.
One of the other things that we saw was so many souls were being acknowledged for their spiritual journeys. And I'm getting goosebumps. I would say to you, if you are on a spiritual journey and it feels hard at times or it feels lonely at times, please know you're being seen. The spiritual divinity know. So, whether people are acknowledging it or not, that's not the question. You are being seen, you are being acknowledged, and you are being appreciated in the spiritual realm for the journey that you have chosen to be on. So just be steadfast. in there, keep going. I think the reward may be in the ethereal realm. If you aren't feeling a reward now, I believe you'll receive it in the ethereal realm. And that's what we were watching today.
I believe so too, Ruth. And it's interesting that when you were seeing the rainbow, and I looked, and the time was 11:11 on the East Coast.
Right.
And what a significant number, what a significant message that, everything is working as planned. Everything is, how is it that Mariette says, everything is working perfectly. And that was the message that I got. Everything is working perfectly. And it may not look perfect, like, the people in the desert. It may not look like this is a perfect condition for us, but everything is working, and just having that day, staying strong, like you said.
Well, and I found myself, my cynical self, thinking, what a test. I heard the words test of faith. And I thought, wow, why would God give them the test of faith to go walk in the desert for 40 years? What is that? What is that about? And I sort of asked myself the question, was it God who gave them the test of faith, or did life give them the test of faith? And while they were walking in the desert, I said to Teri, I said, well, how did they eat? How did they drink? And she read to me that God provided manna, which I have learned was like bread. So they were taken care of with both drink and bread. I'm guessing there was drink. I mean, if God could create manna, he could create drink too. I mean, they weren't dying of malnourishment or, dehydration in the desert. They were protected and they were taken care of. And to me, that's another reminder that when life gives us tests of faith, we are protected, we are nurtured, we are cared for. Those are beautiful, beautiful reminders today.
Yeah, it really is. And I feel like this journey that I'm on is a test of faith, because I did hear the words to go. I had no idea what it was going to look like, and if I was going to be taken care of, protected, helped along the way. And it has been every moment of the journey. Something beautiful has opened up, and people have opened up. And I have no doubt, I have no fear. I know that this was divinely ordered and guided, and is divinely ordered and guided. And it is a test of faith, though, because as I've said to you, I think a couple of times, if I looked at it from strictly the human ego point of view, I would be like, that's insane. I can't do that. It would have been a real resistance that had been put up against it. And it hasn't been. It's been just pure faith all the way. Just keeping strong and seeing what comes next. And that's always my question. Okay, where to next? What comes next?
And having the faith that something is coming next.
Right.
Beautiful. Well, all of you on spiritual journeys, and I can't fathom you're watching this if you're not. Keep up the good faith, keep up the good work, keep your relationship with your creator strong, so you never have those times, and we all do, right, of going, what, holy cow, what am I doing? Why am I living this life instead of living some other version of my life? I think, and I pray that you will find that acknowledgement, that time in the ethereal realm, or just even here in the physical realm, of feeling that acknowledgement that you are seen, you are known. The Creator knows who you are, knows the life that you're living, and there's such love and appreciation of that. So thank you. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for meditating with us. And Teri, thanks again for this time here today. We love you all. And we hold you all in such high esteem. So take good care of yourselves today, and God bless.